Hello my fellow YouTube watchers, welcome back to my channel. 16Wonder here, and this video is long overdue for you guys. It is my collection update video. I've decided to go ahead and make one, post it, as you guys have been waiting so long for it. Anybody who's still with me, thanks for sticking around, guys. Got some new figures. Gotten rid of some of the figures as well, so there's been a fine-tuning going on over the last few months, last year or so, with the figures, and some of them are gone, and I've gotten a couple of new ones, but here I am to take you guys through it. So here we go. So we'll start off with the Star Wars figures, and one of the newer ones that I've received is the Palpatine. I just got the regular Palpatine edition. And let me turn down the lights a little bit here so you guys can kind of get a good look here. This one's worth just checking out real close by. Like, let me get a nice little detail on this guy. Is really good, and when you get him in the right light, works out well. So just one of the newer ones that I have gotten, and pretty happy with. So. And going down, we have the Imperial Probe Droid from Sideshow, second edition, so it didn't come with the snow base, but I am using the snow base from the Luke Skywalker Hoth figure from Sideshow, which is also on the Tauntaun. And I absolutely love this piece, one of the most iconic pieces from my memory growing up with Star Wars that I can remember is Luke on the Tauntaun. Definitely one of those highlight moments for me. This is a great piece as well. And we have the Medicom Boba Fett. Not the best piece in the world, but the detailing on it is really well done. The weathering and on the armor is pretty well done. Some of the stitch work for the armor plating isn't the greatest, like the middle piece isn't quite as centered as it should be, but nonetheless, I got this for about 150 bucks a long time ago, so worth it. Then we have Kylo Ren from The Force Awakens with two stormtroopers. One is the squad leader trooper, and one is just a regular stormtrooper, with Kylo Ren in what I think is a fantastic pose, iconic pose for Kylo Ren. And going up, we've got C-3PO and R2, both from Sideshow. This is good enough for me. I'm not going for like the Hot Toys ones or anything like that. Just want an image of them, and this is sufficient for those two characters in my eyes. So, and up here we have an iconic duo with Han Solo and Chewbacca. And Chewbacca, one of these figures that had lots of issues with the hair, but after a lot of futzing with it, I think I got it looking pretty, screen accurate, so to speak, with the hair on the arms, pulled downwards, so, and then the hair around the face is mixed with, but it's defined. The work I did to get this was incredible. I brushed that out so the hair was like sticking out so far, and then posing the hair. So alright, so again, one of the newer figures, got that last year, was the Anakin Skywalker, and this piece is really well done. Great sculpt, great tailoring and detail on this figure. Fantastic. I really love this figure. Just got him in that pose where he's might be force choking Padme. Just coming down with the case of some evil sniffles. And we have some Rey here, Force Awakens with BB-8. I really do enjoy this piece. These couple of pieces here, they go really well together. And just a real simple image from The Force Awakens. So, two more classics. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi Old Yoda from Empire Strikes Back. This Yoda is really nice, really well done, and posed right, looks fantastic. And yeah, so I've got him kind of with one of the rocks loose under his foot, perched up with his cane up high. Give him one of those classic looks, and of course Obi-Wan just with the hands around the belt. And then down here we just have one of Sideshow's simple stormtroopers. I don't need anything fancy or the hot toys or the deluxe, or just need something to represent stormtrooper, and I feel I got it here. So for to stand out the Star Wars characters, I've got the farm boy Luke holding the lightsaber, ready to go, and we have Princess Leia. And these two figures are really, really great. I love having these with the original trilogy characters. It's really one of those things great to have, because I'm a big fan of that. I was a kid when those came out, so phenomenal to have. Alright, and now a little bit more obscure ones. Here we have 89 Batman and Joker. Again, just phenomenal detailing on both figures. The rubber suit is really holding up here on mine. I haven't been posing in two dynamic poses or anything like that, so they're really hard to do anyways in that rubber suit, but it's lasting. It's no deterioration on it. It's great. Keep care of it. The Joker is probably one of my favorite figures. Let me just turn it down a little bit here, as the light really is bright on the whites. But this is Jack Nicholson to a T. To a T. So, those are those figures. And now, down to some RoboCop action. Another one of my classic 80s favorite movies. Love RoboCop. For the satirical nature of it, the violence, the story. Just phenomenal. So, this is the die-cast RoboCop figure. And I have that to represent RoboCop. I also have the Battle Damage, which is, in my opinion, one of the very best head sculpts. Here, let me turn this down just a little bit, see if you can get good view. One of the best head sculpts Hot Toys has done on one of these figures, but incredible. And then Alex Murphy, before he gets all banged up by the bad guys, turned into RoboCop. Another really cool figure to have as a representation. Good detail on the costume. Very screen accurate. Now jumping over here, we have some Asmus toys. Lord of the Rings. I've got the Asmus Ring Wraith and a Steed, which is one of my favorite figures. Scared the crap out of me when I was a kid when I saw the animated, the abstract animated film from the 70s, and then seeing the film from Peter Jackson was just incredible. I'm also harboring Gandalf the Grey and Sauron with the pedestal, with the paladin, the eye of Sauron, showing him the way. Although the beards are sculpted, they are pretty half decent, and really do enjoy these figures a lot. Tailoring is really good. Layers and layers on these costumes. So, the one I've been talking about a lot when I've had space, and this is my latest acquisition. Got this in just a couple of weeks ago, guys. This is Neo from the Matrix. Now this figure, I've contemplated on what kind of pose to put it in, and decided to go for that infamous cartwheel shooting scene in the lobby of the building with the police, the squad, and I think I got a pretty good bite on it. Detailing on this pretty good. The likeness is good. It's not 100%, but for Matrix, with one of my favorite movies of all time is the first Matrix. I love them all, but first Matrix really, I remember that movie very vividly about my thoughts about it after, and just getting this figure is phenomenal. Hopefully they'll drop some more, like Morpheus, maybe Trinity. I know they've shown off a prototype of Agent Smith, so we'll see. Alright, and this is again is some of my favorite figures. The Ghostbusters from Blitzway. Let me turn it down a little bit so you can see the detailing. These are some of my favorite figures. I've got this image where Slimer's coming at Peter. The detail on Slimer is phenomenal. And I had one of the backpacks broken on these guys. And Big Bad Toy Store, phenomenal company, got me a replacement. Didn't require me to send back the old one or anything like that, or destroy it. They just sent me a new backpack that worked. And so what I've done is I've set the broken one up that I had. It was all the straps and all that stuff fell apart, but set it up as a display, so as you can't see their backs too often, you can take a look at the detail of the backpack. The proton pack up here. One of the new acquisitions I got was this 1/18th scale, and I think it's a little smaller than 1/18th, but I'm not sure, of the Ecto one from the first Ghostbusters. Die cast, great detail on this, great representation. Obviously I'm not going to be able to get the Blitzway, it's too big, it's too expensive, and it just does too much for what I'm trying to achieve with my collection. Alright, two more of the Ghostbusters here from Blitzway. We have Dan Aykroyd's Ray Stantz sitting here holding one of the traps full. He's got a smoke in his mouth here, which hopefully doesn't do any damage to the paint, but you know what, these are great figures. I'm just displaying them. I'm here for displaying. And Egon Spengler, and just the detailing on all of this is great. I love these pieces. Alright, moving on, we have Marty McFly from Back to the Future. I've got him in his iconic poster pose, just kind of looking. Obviously no cars, so we got a skateboard to elevate his leg, and just a great pose, I think, nonetheless. I've got bought a couple of pops, not many. I'm not doing any kind of collecting pops, but a couple of these ones iconic I bought as little iconic. So I've got Doc Brown here beside the Hot Toys. Alright, I've got Ellen Ripley still here, ready to take on an alien. I did get rid of the alien as I had an issue. The mouth had broke. So for all those that have the Alien Warrior, please do not pose it with its mouth exposed open, because the little rubber straps around the mouth will break. But this figure is phenomenal. I ended up getting, this is a NECA, it's kind of like hybrid die-cast plastic molded replications of scenes and vehicles from movies, and this one is from the space jockey from Alien. And I also bought a little 1/6 scale rubber face hugger to go beside Ellen. I thought that was pretty cool. So, and last in my collection is my Terminator figures. We'll start at the bottom here, but I've got my DX-13 set up with the grenade launcher, handgun, and just waiting on the T-1000 to make his move. Phenomenal. I still love this piece so much. Fantastic. Double heads on that, 2 head sculpts. Love it. Here we go. We have the Police Shootout Terminator. Police Shootout from Terminator 1. Now, I've done a little bit of modification on mine. I've given him a bullet wound in the leg, which is screen accurate to the scene when he is just about to go to, I believe, Sarah's mom's cabin to infiltrate her mom to find out that they're at the hotel. So when he leaves the scene, he's walking down the hall. There's a black guy in the hall. He's like, "God damn!" As he's walking down the hall in this pose with this gun, and he has a bullet wound in his leg as well. So I've made that. So I've customized that, painted that myself, weathered it up. Love this figure. It's a phenomenal figure. Another die-cast car I got, and had waited for a while. This is the replica of the police car from the 1984 Terminator movie, the one that the Terminator takes to chase after Reese and Sarah after the initial tech noir attack, and ended up getting this. It's got all the marks, correct marks from the same car that he drove, number 1874. It's got all the same license plate and everything. Really like this piece, and glad to add it. It's just an obscure collection for Terminator, but nonetheless. And we have our famous, my first Hot Toys. This is my very first Hot Toys. Tech Noir Terminator. Now I've customized this in the sense that I bought another pair from this Terminator of the pants and boots when it first came out, so they were relatively inexpensive. I think it was like $30 for the pants and $24 for the boots, and changed up the original pants and boots from the Tech Noir Terminator and put the new ones on just because they're more accurate. The boots are well done, much better done than the old ones, and I think it spruces this up and makes it look even better. And just looks good. Now, this is the sad part. Here's my arrival Terminator. This is a Thyssen M34, if I remember correctly, silicone molded, muscular body to represent Arnold. Unfortunately, with it, if we can see it correctly in here, it has deteriorated. The rubber has split apart from being in these poses. Even on the knee, you can see here, see if I can zoom on the knee, it's starting to deteriorate. So it's sad, but it was $80, and unfortunately that's just what happens with these things. Trial and error. You figure these things out once you have them for a while. You see what they do, and obviously it's deteriorating. Terrible movie. Terrible. Love this 1:2 scale bust. Arnold Schwarzenegger from Genesis. Terrible movie, but love this bust. Think this is fantastic. It's got a light up eye feature. It's got great detail. And what I did is I used some nail gloss, clear nail gloss, to glisten up the wounds a little bit on this one, as they are very dull out of the box, paint job wise, very matte. Doesn't have a very wet look. So I did all of the bloody edges around the head and the chest to shimmy that up. Alright, another one of my prized possession is the endoskeleton 1/4 scale from Hot Toys. Now originally I've had this in a pose with the gun, like in the future, but decided to take a little bit more of a brutal approach to the pose, and given it more of the walking stance it was having during the final action scene of Terminator when it's chasing Reese and Sarah in the factory, and it's got a limp, so it's in mid-stride to take another step going after them. I've taken a look at the footage of the movie and still shots of the images I was looking at and replicated them as best I could, and really think I got a nice look out of this, because it can look gangly. I don't know if that's the right word, but gangly. Sometimes this posed figure looks a little gangly when it's not posed right, so I think it has weight and meat to it without it actually having any meat on it, because it's an endoskeleton. But this is again one of my prized possessions, and these are those die cast plastic hybrid vehicle replications. These are both from Terminator, the HK Hunter Killer and the HK tanks. Love these pieces as well alongside that. And I have the DX10 Terminator, which is another really great piece. Love this piece. And I have it on a Harley Davidson, which I had custom painted to the black. This is actually the Barbie Harley Davidson edition bike that comes with the Barbie, and then I just repainted and customized some of it by taking off some of the signal lights on the front forks and repainting all of the tank and the fenders, and the bag is custom bought and put on there, and then Arnie's on there looking all kind of like, this is like the poster image of Arnold, and I think it's fantastic. So, and my final in-case piece is the T1000 from Enterbay. I love this piece as well. It's really weird, these figures sometimes are harder to pose than 1/6 scale figures, even though they have the same articulation. Just weird the way they are, but I figured, again, I'm just standing there with the pole. This is in the factory scene at the end of the movie when he has the bottom half is the police outfit, police pants and boots, and he's no longer wearing the helmet and jacket after he got decimated by the liquid nitrogen, destroyed, and then reconstituted himself and coming after them at the end. And this is another phenomenal piece I love. Now I did get a couple of other pieces. You might not be able to see them too well. So on the top I do have my endoskeleton 1:1 scale. This is the pizza face Chucky from Mezco. This is a relatively new piece, really cool. I got the Queen Alien. Again, this would probably be better if I do this during the day because there's more light shining on top, but I've got my Michael Myers mask from Trick or Treat Studios 2018 on the stand, displayed. Also looking at here my 1:1 Gremlin. This is another prized possession of mine. I love this piece. Life-size Gremlin. And my DeLorean from Diamond Select. Another cool piece on an airplane, acrylic clear stand, so it looks like it's flying. And yeah, and over here I have the Hasbro Black Series helmet, 1:1 Stormtrooper and 1:1 Poe Dameron. And then little things like the Knight Rider Funko Pop here. I got Little Shop of Horrors Audrey 2 Funko Pop, Beetlejuice Funko Pop, and if anybody even knows who these guys are, Gargoyles from the animated TV series way back when. And so yeah, anyways guys, that's a look at the current collection as it stands. There are other little things, Terminator posters. I've got posters around, Back to the Future posters, you know, living the dream here with all of this pop culture stuff. I have other things like over here I have, in this case, I have the glove and sweater of Freddy. I repainted the glove to make it more realistic, and usually people have pictures of their families. I don't. I have pictures of Star Wars and more Star Wars. I was a big fan of Seinfeld, so of course gotta have the Kramer painting. Anyhow guys, again, following me, I appreciate this. It's been a longer video. Hopefully this works out alright and everybody can check it out, but I promised you a collection video and I wanted to make sure that you guys got this, so stay tuned. There'll be more videos to come. We'll see what happens here. It's getting to be May, so we're getting almost halfway through the year. We'll see what happens, and see what else is added, if any. I'm just waiting for some cool announcements and things to happen like that, but we will wait to see. So you guys have any questions, any comments, please leave them below. I like to leave them. I even respond to almost all comments. And until the next video, guys, take care of yourselves and keep collecting.